What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jake with Master Football. Back at it again. Happy Wednesday. Okay, we gotta talk about this real quick. Hey, again, we're entrepreneur hands. So we are 1 week into free agency right now. Week's over. Everything's happened. We had a fantastic week of free agency. There were signings here. There were signings there. Everything was going crazy here. Well, I want to actually look in more into that because I feel that the real free agency starts right now. In the same way that the real draft experts say that the draft starts, rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the undrafted guys, I feel like the real free agency starts right now. We're going to see there's a lot of good players available. There's a lot of price points that are good out there that are still available. And there's a lot of moves still to be made. So let's get after it and see what's going on. So I wanted to come in again because here's the problem with free agency is free agency gets a lot more hype than it probably deserves. First of all, good free agents don't become available. If somebody's available, there's a reason why. There's a price point. There's off the field situation. There's something to that effect that the reason why they're not going to keep them. If you're young and you can play, you're re-signed, you're franchised. That's how the NFL works. Now, that being said, there are certain situations. As an example, the Jaguars haven't been able to re-sign a lot of people because they haven't exactly drafted very well. And the players that they have drafted, they've basically gotten rid of. Allen Robinson, Yannick Ngakoue, Jalen Ramsey, Leonard Fournette. That's just to name a few. They haven't exactly drafted so well, so they have money to spend, so they do spend it now. It's almost like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer because you're going to see here that the Jaguars have to overpay for players just to even field the regular team. First of all, anecdotally, you'll go through here. You'll see that the teams that say re-sign or franchise are a lot better off than the teams that say sign, 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 sign. So Jaguars got a couple re-signings right there. Falcons don't have any re-signings. Baltimore signed a good guard and then re-signed, re-signed, re-signed. Buffalo re-signed, re-signed, re-signed. Green Bay Packers basically just re-signed Aaron Jones. That's about it. Now you'll see here with Jacksonville, you're going to see, franchise tag. That's good. We like that. Re-signed Dwayne Smoot. We like that. Re-signed Sidney Jones. We like that. But then what else? We have signed Shaq Griffin, signed Rayshon Jenkins, signed Roy Robertson Harris. I looked at Roy Robertson Harris. He's getting 7.5 a year. Or was that 8 a year? Yeah, he's getting 8 a year. He had 0 sacks last year for $8 million a year. Defensive lineman, defensive tackle. Again, I understand that they have the money, the cap. You have to reach the cap floor to get up there. But there's a reason why you're playing in free agency, okay? If you're playing in free agency, it's because you couldn't re-sign your own guys. That's not a good thing. Now, that being said, I still think these next coming weeks, and especially towards the draft, we're going to see a couple, towards the draft and after the draft, we're going to see a lot of key signings. We're going to see a list of those people right here. So again, you guys know me if you've ever been on my channel before. I love Pro Football Focus. I feel like they get everything from a statistical model. They give you your grades. They grade out every play. They don't grade out big plays or anything like that only. They want to make sure they see the totality of what they do as a player. Number one on the list, Richard Sherman. Hard to argue. Again, the guy tests out great. He does a really good job. He did have he's 1 year away from an Achilles injury, as it says right here. So we'll see what happens. I suspect that wherever he goes, it's going to be a 1-2 year deal. I think he's just going to go to contenders and try and get, like it says, when he's at the mercenary stage of his career, 1-2 year deals, come in, help us out, win a championship. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. Then you're going to see a couple of other things here. You're going to see a lot of offensive linemen, and you're going to see a lot of veteran players. So Mitchell Schwartz is both a veteran player and an offensive lineman. Right tackle came off of a back injury, but when he plays, he's solid. Antonio Brown's available. Jadeveon Clowney's available. Again, these are good players, but you'll see that it's kind of like late in the draft. So in the draft, if you're picking somebody in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, they either do everything well but nothing great. They do one thing great and help with a couple of things really bad, or they're a project, or they have limited potential, or they're injury concern. There's usually a big but in there somewhere, and you have to be able to adapt around that but. A free agent is mostly a finished product. There's not a lot of grooming you can do with a free agent. You can't really bring a free agent and do really well. One position, bring him in, ask him to do something different, and hopefully it goes well. That's not how it works. I was harping on free agency because I know that Russell Okung was going to be highly overvalued. They project him to get 3 years, $50 million. So again, if you don't have a tackle and you need a tackle, Russell Okung might not be a bad option. Now you have to have the salary cap space to do it as well. But I just don't know whether or not you want to be spending that much money. But if you have to, you have to. Quality starter, Alejandro Villanueva, starter for the Steelers, played a really long time. Graded pretty well. I know he didn't exactly grade very well last year. But again, if you need an offensive tackle, you still have one at your disposal. T.Y. Hilton's another player available. Melvin Ingram, the pass rusher, is available. Sammy Watkins is available. KJ Wright is available. Alex Smith is available, I think, more as a backup quarterback. I think a contender can sign him to a good deal and have him come in and back up. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs did that. Why not come in, be the backup quarterback? You know, you just through a couple years from your ankle injury. Why not come in and compete that way? Aldon Smith is another example that we have here. Aldon Smith is a wild card. Are you going to be getting the Aldon Smith when he was a stud, or are you going to be getting Aldon Smith that has the problems? Again, if you sign a reasonable deal, it's high incentives. It's a win-win situation for you as a team because he comes in. If he's bad, you cut him. If not, he comes in and he plays great. Yeah, you just got a great player for the cheap. Good idea there. They also talk about Carlos Dunlap. Again, Carlos Dunlap had a really big cap number last year, about $14 million. They cut him. I wouldn't be surprised if he re-signed with Seattle. Now, he might re-sign with Seattle later on. You got to remember what's going on right now is the closer that we get to the draft, the lower these players' value get because they're going to have less ability to sign for a player that needs that. There's a lot of teams in the draft that don't know who's going to be available at the certain picks. I mean, except for maybe the Jags at number 1. But beyond that, a free agent at least solves a need per se. Now, again, you should not be drafting for need. You should be drafting the best player available. There's a reason why the Ravens are better than most teams because they draft the best player available and they try not to focus on need because I would rather take an A at a position that I kind of need than a C+ at a position I'm desperate for. I would rather get the A because I feel like I can adjust around A's more than I can adjust around C+s. So again, I was harping on the cap a lot. I know there are certain teams that have to spend it. Again, the Jaguars are one of those teams that literally just have to spend it because you have to reach that cap floor, and they don't have very many people to re-sign, although that's kind of their fault. But we won't talk about that. We won't bring it up. Sorry, Jaguars fans. I appreciate you showing up. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to make sure we touch base. Now in these next couple weeks, between now and the draft, there's going to be the occasional signing here and there. The teams are going to be a lot more diligent on making sure they follow through with gauging somebody's price according to the market and things like that. So you're going to be a lot better. These are the better deals I feel coming forward rather than the reactionary, we need somebody, throw money at them kind of situation. Again, everybody, thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe to the video. I appreciate all of that. I only got 9 subscribers right now. I think 9 subscribers. I need that number up. Come on now. Help me out. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys on Friday with a new Obscure Prospect.